What do you like better, Christmas or wedding season?
Mr. Gray.
Yes. The answer would be wedding season.
Bingo.
Well, you've just inspired me to hire a DJ, so thank you.
Oh, well, good luck finding a DJ who can move and shake like this.
You are now listening to Cutmaster Cast.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another round of the Cutmaster Cast, your favorite wedding industry podcast. My name is Chris Romero.
And my name is Tony Pacheco. What's up, everybody?
And we are DJs out of Albuquerque, New Mexico with Cutmaster Music. And we want to thank you once again for listening. All what are we up to? 31? 32. We got 32 loyal listeners.
Pretty cool. We had 5 at one point.
But you said we had 40 watches on the...
41 viewers, but they could be watching at any time, right?
That's right?
So Spotify does a little bit better at, like, active listeners.
I'm going to say it's about 100.
Average.
Let's go with about 100.
Yeah, like 100.
We appreciate all of you out there. All right. So once again, and we like to dive into 3 areas on the pod, which include our weekly events, industry business tips and hacks, and at the end of every episode, we always take it back to the music. And don't forget to share this with a friend out there, especially if you are in the wedding industry. We cover a lot of different topics on all the socials at Cutmaster Music. But today is a special episode. I'm super excited about this one because we get the honor of sharing the stream waves with the amazing Talitha Butler, who is one of my personal favorite frienders in the industry. She's the owner and lead photographer of Talitha Tarro Photography. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The people love you. People love you. No, but yeah, we've been wanting to get you on the podcast for a while. We've been working together. Gosh, how many years?
I was thinking about that in the car because it's more than 10 years.
It has to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has to be more than
That's
that.
cool.
Well, I'm trying to think, okay, so when did we use you for like maybe the first set of family pics? I mean, that my kids have
Is that
been-
the first time you guys
No.
interacted?
No, we've known each other just in the
Like
industry.
weddings, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be over a decade.
It's whatever photo's on top of your mantle because I've seen it in your like
Oh,
Instagram photos.
that's
it's
right.
the silhouette photo and
Yep.
it does not have
There's no Evan.
no Evan. Yeah.
There's no Evan in that one. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's
You have a family photo with Evan not there.
yeah, lots of them. Yeah, I mean, shoot, Jude was 8 years old when
Yeah,
Evan was born.
That's fair.
So, yeah. There was no number 3.
That's fair.
I was good
Yeah.
at 2, but you know. So- no, we love Evan, but we won't talk about that after coming home from vacation with him. That was an absolute nightmare with a 5-year-old. Lots of
Just
fun.
traveling, flying with a 5-year-old can be hard.
Good Lord.
I saw Monica's video of him like going ape in the airport.
I literally had to carry him, like, not because of him being tired. It was because you're in this city with millions of people. We were in Washington, D.C., and the dude was just, like, out of control. Like, I mean, you could lose him at any corner.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some times I thought of just letting him go. And, you know,
Some science.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, oh, my goodness. Yeah. So it was interesting, to say the least.
It's funny.
But so anyways, yeah, thanks again for coming on in and joining us. And, you know, let's just kind of jump right into it. We typically start off our episodes talking about our events for the week. So did you have anything this past weekend?
No.
You were
I had the
off?
weekend off. It was glorious.
Oh, man, that's
nice. Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's nice to have those Saturdays off every now and then.
Yes.
What was the last event you worked?
I did 7-1 at Bishop's Lodge.
Okay.
So it was a really big wedding. It was
Nice.
gorgeous. Yeah. A beautiful theme. Did the florals. Just gorgeous.
Nice.
Nice.
I love Bishops.
Colors everywhere.
Mhm.
It was great.
We've done it. We've been doing, I would say, you know, we've been up there frequently over the last 2 years.
I
Yeah.
did a wedding with you guys. October. It was like a Thursday wedding.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, together. They were from Houston, right?
Yeah, Dallas or Houston, and it was like the first cold
Yep.
October day, and I felt so bad
Oh,
for
no.
them. They were-
That ceremony was freezing.
was-
It was
Yeah.
cold.
It
was
was
it at the
so-
chapel?
It was
Or
up at the
outside?
chapel, and she had like a backless dress. What was it like? What would you say? Like a
It
backless
was like
dress?
very
something?
strapped, just
Yeah.
very strappy, very open.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got this photo of one of the guests where they took one of the hand warmers and shoved it right under her open-toed high heels.
They literally had hand warmers for us out there.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
In
was bad.
October. Wow. I mean, it's
It
Santa
was-
Fe.
it was
They're
snowing
mountains.
that day.
It
Yeah.
was snowing.
It's gonna be cold. Yeah.
It was yeah, it was crazy.
That's nuts.
I remember that one. That was fun though. That was a
It was.
Thursday. That was a fun group.
Mm-hmm.
Same sex couple.
Nice.
Yeah, super fun.
Was this October? Because you did one for like Thanksgiving, like that week. It was a Tuesday though, right?
Yeah, that was a Tuesday. Yeah, that one was local.
Nice.
But yeah, so cool. All right, well, I'm gonna grill you here, Talitha. I've got the questions lined up that people want to know.
Okay, I'm in the hot seat.
All right, you're in the hot seat. And this one, to be fair, I didn't prep Talitha ahead of time, like we have with some of our past guests. The first very tough question: What got you into the wedding industry? How'd you do this?
Oh man. Let's see. I started out so in high school I took a creative writing course, and like where there was this little assignment where you had to get a camera and just take pictures.
Cool. That's awesome.
And so I had a lot of fun with that one, and I entered some of the photos into the state fair down there,
Yeah.
and they won because there's like 5 people entering. But anyway,
You
it was
won?
But
enough
you
of a
won. You were the
video.
winner.
Out of those 5 people, it was you.
It was me.
That's awesome.
So that got the bug in my head, and then as soon as I graduated, I used graduation money to buy a camera.
So you did this right away out of high school.
I did, but it was a film camera, and I was, of course, poor. So I couldn't just like blow through all the film that I got.
Right.
But then I went to school, started going like Photoshop classes, all that kind of stuff. And then that's when the digital conversion started happening.
Okay.
So as soon as I could, I bought a digital camera. And so I pushed it to its limits. Just wanted to take a nice screensaver picture for my computer.
Yeah, for Windows XP.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's funny.
And then, it just kind of blew up from there. So after that one, it's actually my husband now. So I had wanted to get a better camera. And so he would always push me into it and say, hey, have you thought about this? And then one day he just slid over a magazine and right on, it had Canon Rebel. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I ended up buying that Canon Rebel. And I just would photograph anybody that would get in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Definitely.
So this is back when Model Mayhem was more of a thing.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
I've never heard of that.
It's probably still around. Who knows if it is? But it's like makeup artists, photographers, models, anybody that wants to collaborate and make photos. So it was pretty awesome. You could connect with everybody.
Huh.
And then whenever it came time for my first wedding, it was somebody that was like, hey, I've seen your photos. You do good stuff. Can
There
you
you go.
shoot my
So
wedding?
it,
And
it
I'm
wasn't like a
Okay.
family member. It was a random.
No, I'm pretty sure she's not pleased with these photos, but
I think any of us that have been in this industry and doing it, like kind of we all get into it the same way. It's like you get thrust into it for some way. It's usually a hobby
yeah.
to start. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you look back at where you started and you're like, wow, I owe those.
Right.
I owe those people.
Right. I charged them $300 for all day, like seriously,
Wow.
sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
But it grew exponentially. So I think after that, somebody else was like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Can you shoot mine?
There you go.
And then like it went from 3 weddings to 6, 12, and then it went exponential. And then after that, it was like, okay, we got to do less because that's too much.
Yeah. So at your peak when you were doing the most weddings, because it's probably not now, I would assume it's kind of like the same thing with me. How many did you do in 1 year, like the most?
I think I got up to 38, which is probably rookie numbers for other photography businesses, but I'm a one-man
That's a
person.
lot. Yeah.
For one person. I mean, there's only,
It's just me.
2 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
So
now I do on average, it's like 22
Nice.
in a year.
you're doing like 1 to 2 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's more like every weekend for like 2 months. And then
Yep.
yeah.
That's the way I
Yeah.
mean, like this year,
Yeah,
I don't
peak
think
seasons.
I didn't have an event. I think I had one event for the first 3 or 4 months of the year until we got into like wedding.
May, June.
Yeah.
That's when you start to kick off. Yeah.
So that's awesome. And then at what point did you decide, okay, I really like this as, kind of a hobby? You started doing weddings and then how do you get into forming the business? Like,
Let's see. Try to think like where I started. One of my first tips, somebody I went to high school with him, and I saw him like at a gas station. And he was like, "That's cool. You like photography." He's like, "Well, here's my tip. You need to get a good contract." So that was like, okay, all right. So it was like by my second wedding that I actually had a contract in place. And
Nice.
started thinking through. So.
When did you like start the LLC and all that?
Let's see. So I started doing outreach and would do Chamber of Commerce stuff.
Nice.
And then I had this little company called Paget, small business company, approach me.
Yeah.
And so they were like, let's set you up. Let's get it all. And so I was like, cool.
How exciting.
I know.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen so easily.
Right?
So
Yeah,
it was
that's an
awesome.
awesome position to be in and have those helpful hands.
Yeah. So I started with an LLC, and then eventually it's an S corp. So
Okay,
yeah,
great.
where I am my own employee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and you, it's just you, right? Like you don't have a team of other photographers. I mean, I know you've used second shooters and things like,
Right.
like that, but you don't have other photographers that go out under Talitha Tarro.
No. It's actually Talitha Tarro.
Tarro. Oh, I don't know why. See, well, and for the longest time, I think, I mean, because your name is so unique.
Yeah.
I think I used to call her at the beginning. It was Talitha.
Oh, yeah.
Talitha.
Yeah, Talitha.
There's
and-
lots of ways to say it. So
Where does Tarro come from? Is that your original last name?
yeah.
Or your maiden name, excuse
My
me.
maiden name.
Yes.
Yeah, no, whenever you
Yeah, it's spelled
introduce me.
Tarro. So yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
It's Italian, but there's so
Tarro.
little Italian in me. So.
Yeah, heck yeah.
See, all these years, and it's been
It sounds Italian.
15 years. Tarro.
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 There you go.
See, if you do it Spanish, because it's 2 R's, you got to
Yeah.
roll it.
Ah,
Tarro.
Tarro.
Is there much rolling of R's in Italian?
I don't know. I'm
I don't know.
Mexican. They roll it all day in Spanish.
You put some stank on it where it doesn't need to be.
Yeah. You got to sound like an Italian. You got to do the hand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we now
Tarro.
it makes sense.
Ah.
Tarro.
Just kidding.
Oh my goodness. Okay, gosh, we got off track there. What the heck did I ask? Oh yeah, so talking about a team.
Oh, yeah. So I contract hire second photographers. So I basically pull somebody away from their own business to work with me. So
Nice.
these are other lead shooters. So
Sure.
Right.
that's the benefit of having a second shooter.
They really know what they're doing.
Right. But I also have assistants. So they actually help me do what I like to do because, like, lighting, I love lighting. So, especially during the reception, like, what can I do? How can I don't know. It kind of narrows your focus into what is only the cool stuff happening. So, what I want to see is I want to see just people having an awesome fun time, and I want to see how beautiful the space is. So, like, that's where, like, you guys with your lights and everything, it gives edges to the room, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
instead of just like shooting into a dark box,
Yeah.
it gives little color pops to where, like, you have your moment, but then there's something visually interesting to kind of
In the background,
through.
kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and that's
Wow.
what I've always loved
That's
about your
cool.
photography. And I know I get there's like a lot of different styles out there, but what has always drawn me personally to your style is how you use light. And I don't know, like I feel like your colors for whatever reason are always just like really like they've always spoke to me, they've grasped me, like they're just really rich and deep. And how you even like your nighttime photos, I mean I can visualize some of your pictures of like couples with how you're using light to light them, but then you've got this amazing starry backdrop with them, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like you're just one of the few that are able to pull off the pictures that you do. It's like, it's really amazing to me.
It's fun. Like, if I can talk people into a night photo, oh, it's on.
Yeah.
If it's a dark sky location, so if you're going to be in Albuquerque proper, there's so much light pollution that it's
Yeah,
not
it's
going to
hard.
make a
You
good
can't
one.
do it.
You can do other night photo things to kind of pull in. You just need like some pops of light to where you can darken down your exposure and then just focus on the cool things. But night sky photos are, yeah.
Or you bring Talitha to your home and she brings, actually it was like it was like tubes like these.
It's a
kind of.
pixel. It's called a pixel stick.
Yeah.
And so they look like
like
these
this kinda.
tubes, but what it does is it runs through a picture like pixel by pixel. So it'll show like this amount of pixels, and so the more that you move, it'll show the rest of it. So, yeah.
So like
Pretty interesting.
she would take the picture
Yeah.
and then it would, she would do her magic and then go run behind us with like the pixel
Yeah.
sticks, and it had
I got
crazy.
you. So you leave the shutter open or whatever.
She was painting.
It's light painting.
Yeah.
She was light painting.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's like online or whatever. Socials.
Yeah.
It was fun. That was super
That's
fun.
cool.
Height of the pandemic. I was bored.
We were in the
as all get
pandemic.
out.
We were in the pandemic.
We did that in I took photography all 4 years in high school.
Did you?
And we did that senior year.
That's so cool.
So fun. Yeah. It was
One of them looks like our whole backyard's on fire.
Ah,
It does.
yeah. No, but we did it. We did it with film too. It wasn't digital. It was crazy.
That's hard mode.
Oh, it was wild. I only got like one good photo out of like all 20 that we took or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I remember that. It was
That is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we're going to do that for team photos for
I
you
know.
guys.
We've
Yeah,
got
there
some
you
photos
go.
coming up here soon.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, we've got some things in the works for.
Because you always theme them out. So
Typically, we have some sort of a theme, going with it. So I know we've been scheming, trying to think of what we want to do for this one. But most of the time, though, like when it comes to the photos, like we'll usually theme in some way. But I like to leave creativity to
That's nice,
to
though.
Talitha and just let her run with it because it's. I feel even like kind of it's like with DJing, right? There's an art to what we do, and so. I personally don't like doing events when I get put in this like bubble. You have to play this playlist straight up and down in this way,
Yeah.
right? Like that takes away what I feel like I'm good at and what I enjoy doing. I feel it's the same thing with photography. Like if I can give you an idea of like what we want to do, but then just let you run with it, I think that's when like the best work is going to come out of it. Like, and you're going to have fun doing it too, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
Like when you've done the with the smoke bombs, like that was cool. And we got some killer pictures that came out with that.
Those were
like
fun.
that was
Yeah.
fun. Like
Yeah.
things like that. I'm usually just like, do your thing. Like
Right.
just tell us where to go and what to do.
I
And
want some good pics. Make it happen.
yeah,
cool.
Awesome.
So-
Yeah, we're going to have fun.
it's going to
Yeah,
be
I'm
fun.
excited.
Okay, so let's get back to weddings here. Weddings are filled with some pretty unpredictable moments, obviously, at times. So can you share with us like a hilarious, like behind the scenes story where you had to kind of maybe think quickly on your feet to get like a good shot or something funny that happened? Like,
Yeah. Well, actually, most recently, I had a wedding on 7/22. I told you my last one was 7/1. But
Okay.
so this is Blame Her Ranch, and they wanted a night photo. So we get through the timeline of what we're doing for stances, all of that, and I need to go set up for a night photo. It takes me about 15 minutes. I just need to get a tripod, just go get my exposure so I can go get the couple and bring them back.
Nice.
So I'm getting that all done, and I go back after the night photo's done because they need to do a sparkler exit and leave.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not photograph them cutting the cake. And so I was like, I told Randy, he runs things over at Blame Her Ranch. I was like, I think I messed up. And he's like, no, that's terrible. He's just kind of feeding it for me. And I was like, so I told the wedding planner,
Right.
and she's like, they didn't cut the cake. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
oh, save.
I know.
Right.
She's like, I would have gotten you anyway. But Randy went out to them afterwards. So the party's done. Everybody's left. And so everybody at Blame Her Ranch, because you can party until sunup if you want
Nice.
to there.
That's cool.
I have never done a wedding there.
I've done one.
It's pretty fun.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
What's the setup situation like? Can you just drive your vehicles up there to like load in
Yes.
gear and whatnot?
Pretty much. Yeah. So I'm going to finish my little thing.
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you
sorry.
About Blame Her Ranch.
Yeah, keep going.
Randy asked him, did you want to cut the cake? And so they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, we can do something like that. So the cake had already been like sliced up and it was pathetical. So we just put them right on the table, gave them forks and just said, have fun. And so I actually got to go do some fun stuff and stand on the table. Like I wouldn't be able to do that on open.
That's completely
Traditional
different. Like
cutting,
you're
yeah.
forced, right? Like to have to just get creative and
Yeah. Yes.
that's cool.
Which those things are fun. Like if it's a hard situation, because you do have to think differently. So I think difficult things are great because it makes you think a little bit differently.
You know what? Like
true.
for
Challenges
me,
you.
this is why you hire someone like you, though. Like that's the whole part of being a professional, in my opinion. Like things happen, right? Like, and you get forced to think quickly on your feet, like, and make the best of a situation, like no matter what. And I think that's what professionals do.
Yeah.
You do that. Like you figure out how do I get them to get pictures with the cake that's remaining and make it cool, fun,
Right.
and it turned into something that you've never done before.
Right. Totally fun.
Pictures that you would never have had,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that to me is like the cool part of like
Yeah.
what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And being able to like call the audible as the lesser terms or whatever, you know what I mean? You don't have, you're like, okay, well, we got to make this happen. But you have the professional like level to really manage it and handle it and really deliver something cool too. So that's
Yeah.
cool.
Definitely.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
But yeah, Blame Her Ranch is really, you can drive right up to it, and it's just this
Yeah.
huge estate that overlooks this valley, which
It
I
looks
don't know.
beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It's
Yeah.
kind of by Santa Fe, right?
How far?
Yeah.
Yeah. How far away is it?
It's been
Like
a while since I've been there.
out of town. Like how long does it take to get there?
Depends on where you're coming from. Like I take a back way on
Okay.
I-40 and then cut it across because if you go to I-40, you can meet Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you go up to Klein's Corners and take a left,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
it's somewhere up there.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, cool. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so as like a seasoned photographer, you must have witnessed some pretty cool and unique creative like wedding themes. So can you tell us about the most like unusual wedding you've ever shot, and like how did you have to adapt your like photography style to match like the couple's vision?
Yeah. That actually happened recently. So they got married at Meow Wolf.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you're
That's
like,
so sick.
this is so fun,
Yeah.
but it's also really dark in there. So
Uh-huh.
I got to get all my lighting fun and go take. So I'll have it done by the end of the week. So I'm
Sweet.
excited to
All
share
right,
that
keep a
one.
lookout for those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you did with
You
that.
share your stuff on socials?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely put those out. I want to see.
Definitely. And they did part of what was different for them. So the venue was unique, but they did this really unique makeup. So everybody had, I forgot what she called it. It was like editorial, creative. They had like paint this way, like little color pops.
Like the wedding party?
Everybody. Yeah, they had it in a
guests?
rainbow theme since it was a same-sex wedding. So,
Okay.
but like
Dang.
all of them had like rainbow, standing up there, but then they had rainbow makeup
Oh man,
on.
I
It
bet
was,
like
That's
oh.
dope.
it was a visual field.
Where was it at? Where was dinner at? Where did they eat?
When you go in,
Yeah.
there's a little snack bar, and
Okay,
so they
so
actually
they-
had it there.
They had dinner there, and then I've gone to a concert there. Did they have the?
That's where
dancing?
their dancing
Yeah,
was.
okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
Cool.
super fun.
That's sick.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
is really
That's
cool.
pretty awesome. Okay, so Albuquerque is known for its breathtaking landscape. So how do you incorporate the beauty of the region like into your photography and making it a standout feature for like couples that use your services?
Yeah, that's probably like 50% of the people why they hire me.
Right.
It's like New Mexico is so prominent in the background. It's like in Breaking Bad. They said New Mexico was the other character in there.
Yeah.
I like to choose beautiful locations like that either have really long horizon lines to where you can see the sunset, or it's just like epic. There's like a red rock spot between here and Albuquerque that's really gorgeous.
Yeah.
Sandy
right,
Mountain.
Right before him is.
I
Yeah.
feel like kudos to you photographers because I feel like every event for us, at least currently in Santa Fe, is a destination wedding. We've done a lot of destination weddings here, even at the Tamaya, people that have come from out of town. And I feel like the photographers have done a really good job of getting New Mexico out there to the rest of the world. And that's why we are getting these
People wanting to come in.
these destination weddings, like
Yeah.
because of a lot of these pictures that you all are putting out there.
They're fun. I love those destination weddings because, I don't know, because they love New Mexico. Because sometimes someone born and raised here, they're like,
They're
over
A
it.
little different. Yeah.
we don't like you. We see balloons every day. What are you
Right.
talking? Right? Like, yeah, we don't have the same lens
Yeah.
of someone that's never seen it before. Just like me and being in Washington D.C. this past week, I'm out there like, like all
Going
and
crazy.
they're just like, it's a big stick in the air, dude. Like,
Yeah. That's funny. Do you find yourself having a lot of out of town clients, or like people who are maybe coming back, who are from here, who moved away?
yeah, I actually have pretty decent SEO. And so like half of
Yeah.
my clients are out of state. So I don't know if that's
Awesome.
like the SEO part or.
We think that's a lot
Yeah.
for us too, is because you got a lot of people who are searching in New Mexico, and we come up right away.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
that's
you
good.
guys have other vendors saying, do you have a DJ?
exactly.
Yeah.
I know somebody for you.
Yeah, and
So,
that's a lot of what we try to do is make sure that we're working really well with a lot of times the photographers and the vending staff, or not the vending staff, but like the the catering staff, the hotel staff,
Venues.
Yes, the venues. That's what
Yeah.
I was going with.
Well, they get to see you guys actually partying, and so I feel like guests don't know what you're going to do.
Video team as well, but the photo video team and the catering staff, the venues, they really do see the whole work.
Yeah.
So when you recommend us versus like I don't know, like a florist or
Right.
a cake, you know, it kind of means a little bit more because we work with you guys hand in hand,
Yeah.
pretty much throughout the entire day. So if you can have somebody who's like, oh, I love working with Cutmaster, they're just so easy to work with, they're great. It helps
Yeah,
in our sales meetings
for
too,
sure.
You know.
So let's chat about lighting a little bit. I know this is like what you
My
this-
love.
this-
Yeah.
yeah, this is like the heart of you know. It sounds like you base your photography around it, right? Obviously. So you know we know that lighting plays a crucial role in photography. What's the most challenging lighting situation that you've encountered, like at a wedding?
It's the pavilion, the Cottonwood Pavilion at Tamaya.
Really?
White walls, black ceiling.
Black ceilings.
Yeah. So
You know who? Somebody else had told me about Matt Blazing.
yeah,
He says it's hard to reflect the light off of the black ceilings, and it's challenging.
because bouncing light, it gives a really soft glow to everything.
Yeah.
It's like just it's good. It's good, soft, pretty light. It's flattering for everybody. Whereas I do off-camera flash, and so the flash that's on my camera will talk to the off-camera flash and tell them to go. So, I mean, you can light it up that way, but having that supplemental bounce, because that's going to fill in some of the harsher shadows.
Sure.
And so I don't have, so it's all
Yeah.
angular
Yeesh.
light the whole
A
time.
little more challenging.
Yeah, so if they had a lot of uplights in there, it makes it easier because then I can play off, like, I can darken down my exposure more and just pull out the colors in the background. And then you can play, but
Good to know.
You know what? That's a venue. I've been really surprised over the years that they haven't filled that space in a little bit more.
I know.
I mean, since they use it every single week for weddings.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still got that warehousey feel to it.
it does.
I mean, and even where they put us back, up against the wall, there's like those. I'm not trying to bash them because I love that place. I
know, I love it. It's a
Tamaya.
beautiful
It is.
venue.
It's awesome, but like the vents in the back on that back wall, right?
Are you
Like,
talking about like the power breaker boxes?
no, like literal. Well, so there's that. There's the power box back there, and then there's literally vents, like 4 of them, huge
Oh,
ones, up
yes.
against the back
I see
wall.
what you're saying.
Which a lot of times they'll bring in like decor companies, right, to like put up a pipe and drape and soften it, or they'll put pipe and drape up on the top to soften the ceiling a little bit. But you would think like they use that space enough that they would put the investment into that and making it a little bit nicer.
So people don't have to do the mental leap of like, what is this going to look like
Right.
on my wedding? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the big blank walls because they're great to uplight, but
Yes.
that's kind of like the.
It
that's what I
did.
like about
Their
it.
white wall did make for a great. We did. We had our photo booth out there recently, and that event they wanted just the beauty filter, so it was black and white photos, but with like the soft, the Kim Kardashian thing
Oh, yeah.
that they made famous a couple years ago, and I mean it looked great with that white
Yeah.
wall in the back. It was kind of cool, but yeah. So I mean, and what are your like? Your recommendations as far as lighting goes at an event? Like, what are things that you like as far as like, you can maybe talk about different DJs that you've worked with or lighting companies, or what are some things that you've seen that you like, or things that just absolutely are super challenging for you to work with?
Yeah. Other companies. So I'll give a shout out to Brad with Southwest Wedding Films.
Yeah.
Love them.
He supplements with his lighting that like it just makes it easier for me to shoot.
Nice. Right.
So that's always amazing.
What does he use that you like that,
He
he's doing
has
with the lighting?
continuous lights, and so so continuous meaning like with my flash stuff, it's gonna flash, it pops. Whereas a
Yeah.
continuous light,
like a
these
wash.
are all continuous lights.
right?
But they look like a little flash, and he just puts them up really high, and it's a spotlight right where,
Yep.
and so he'll
I've seen those.
work with. I mean, it's great for him. It's great for me.
Yeah, it gives you good light.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, that was a huge reason why we went to these Astera tubes. Number one, it was just different. Nobody was doing anything with the tube lighting, and we were trying to be progressive in the actual aesthetic look of it. But then, really, these are built for film and photography, like for the industry. They're not DJ lights, so.
So they don't have flicker and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's no flicker with them for video. You can dial in the color temperature with them. We were talking about that earlier. You can make them any color that you want, like literally on the rainbow. And I mean, the different effects. So it's got built-in effects where it'll make them look like police lighting. So they use them in film, like so you can see, you know, the red and
They put it behind a car, so it looks like they're getting pulled over.
Yeah.
Or if you need them to look like fluorescent lights, it has like a fluorescent like little bulb flicker like thing to it. Like there's super cool like stuff for the film industry for video.
I love pulling that stuff out of movies. Like there's a scene, I think it was Oppenheimer. So they're outside and there's clearly a fire pit, but there's not
There's
a fire.
no fire.
It's with one of these tube lights because you can see the catch lights in their eyes.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's fun.
It's funny how you like notice those little details.
Yeah. It makes me not fun to watch a movie.
Oh,
with.
you know all the movie
not
magic
real. Mom, look at
secrets.
that.
Yeah, that's funny.
But that's why I did this, because I noticed a long time ago that my cheesy DJ lights, right, that all of us DJs use, they call them spin and pukes. You know, they spin and they puke out light, and they spin all over the place and they throw light everywhere. It's all random, right?
It is.
And then I was looking at the pictures that the photographers were putting up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like. And actually, it wasn't the pictures the photographers were putting up, because they were photoshopping really well. It was the pictures I was taking, and I was like, oh my God, I've got green dots all over her dress, or her face is red. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know?
That, and you're taking the photo from your perspective, so that's where your light's coming from. You have to flip around to the other side of it. So that's like the thing on what I'm looking for. So yeah, I can hide all of the crazy lights that somebody's going to do, but I have to like do it just so, because otherwise the DJ's right in the background.
Right.
So, and I try to hide vendors from
Yeah.
photos. So
Exactly.
That's another challenge.
Well, and that was the other thing that I was taking into consideration too, which is why, like, I love the DJ booth I have now too, right? And so it's about trying to make it look aesthetically pleasing to the people that are there. But then I know, like, sometimes we're going to get caught in the background of pictures, whether it's the professional pictures or other people's pictures. So we're really aware of always smiling and
I get out of the way.
not being on the
It's a
phone.
first dance
or
something.
first dance. Move out of the way.
Get out of the shot, because
that is so smart. That's
I
like
look
my
like an
biggest
idiot
peeve.
just standing there.
Or even during
I'll even
during
duck.
toasts. At the end of a toast, what do they do every single time?
Raise
They're
a
gonna
glass.
no, like they go and hug each other.
Oh,
They-
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't want me in that picture. So I always make sure, let them hug, do all their stuff before I go and grab the microphone back.
Yeah.
Like it's just little things, like taking an extra 20 seconds of just waiting.
Well, you let a moment happen for
Let a
people
moment
too.
happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so all those things you kind of learn over the years of screwing it up. Like we said, I'm so sorry, you first 100 or so weddings that I did. Yeah, like
Yeah.
That's funny.
you made me a lot better. You know, you made me so
I
much.
learned through you
I'm
guys.
sure they had an amazing time with you
Right.
though.
Exactly.
So no.
Well, and that's, I think, you know, I look back at it, and every single one of them would say that it was the best day ever, and we saw that, and it was, you know,
Yeah.
they were all great. Their weddings, and that's why we do it. They're all awesome. But it's cool to kind of look back and reflect over the years of just where you've come and what you're doing. And
Yeah.
we didn't have this technology like
Oh, I know.
15 years ago.
That's
Like,
true.
I wasn't going to use anything like this or any of the DJ stuff that we use now. I mean, shoot, I was DJing on CDs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
must
we
have
just
had a
recently
huge
switched to
binder.
Sound switch.
binders, like
my gosh.
multiple binders that you're flipping through.
Flipping
You had to organize them by
He's
like,
got his tabs.
oh, you know what? We had it was like the Time Life collection of music for
Okay.
all of the old classic stuff. So it went through the 60s, the 70s,
Nice.
the 80s,
Yeah.
you know, and you had all the party music. And then they would come out with jock jams or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's what you DJ'd off of, was all that stuff.
Nice.
And then LimeWire and Napster came out, and all of a sudden, here's a DJ edit that you
Yeah.
couldn't get anywhere, that you found and you had to rip online. And that's how you started separating yourself. Like, as a DJ, you started finding the cool edits that nobody else could
Nice.
find or get.
yeah.
You know, and it was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, this is,
That's cool.
yeah. And then you played at an event, and it was like, oh my God.
But losing it. Yeah.
That's what made you different. So, yeah, kind of cool.
That is dope.
It's kind of like, photography. Think about where the camera technology has come.
Oh my gosh, the cameras that I have now, the noise reduction is just like, so if I'm shooting in a really dark room, so you have to crank your ISO all the way up. So you can get your photo, but there's
But
going to be a lot of
there'll be
grain,
a
in
lot of
there.
noise.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
But the cameras do well at just making less grain. I don't want to say grain free, but
Right.
less grain. But
Nice.
then it's the editing software. Now it's gotten crazy. I'm sure
it
you've
is.
heard of generative AI.
Yeah.
But they've also built in like a denoising thing into Lightroom, and it is amazing.
Just like a
so
preset.
yeah, I just click the button and
That's
then you
awesome.
just click the slider.
Yeah.
And so I had other software that I would use to run it through denoise or sharpening, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think I need to use the other stuff.
There you go.
It really is. It's cool. So you know what? Let's. I didn't have this on here, but I think we should talk about it because we've had a few episodes talking about AI. But I think AI is really going to affect photography. I mean, we hear of like literally being able to get an AI generator and it learns your style within like 300 shoots or
upload,
whatever,
yeah,
and then you
300
can
photos.
just batch edit and it knows your style of editing, right?
Yes.
Like,
There are what I actually use AI to pre-edit my stuff.
Okay.
So I cull it down to the photos that these are the ones that they're going to get, and then I run it through an AI thing, and then I put my preset on top of the AI thing. So the AI just like if I shot it too dark or maybe
Just
the
cleans it
sky
up.
is blown out, it'll adjust the levels.
Yeah.
And then I can put my preset on it, and then I go through everything. I don't just like set it and forget
Right,
it
right,
if it's
right.
working. But now it's easier.
It's streamlined your
just-
process a little.
that's
bit.
where I think AI is currently at, where it's a tool to help you get pointed almost in the right direction. So it's like if you're writing like they're saying an essay or something like that, because we use AI for generating captions for social media posts and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but I always have to go in and edit it. So
Or
it's
like even the description of our
Yeah.
podcasts.
Right.
We use it for that too.
gives me
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
gives me an idea, but it's like, okay, I need to go tweak this and this and this, right? But it saves me so much time. So I can't even imagine with photography how much time.
Editing process. Yeah.
With the generative AI, I will say it probably adds more time because there's so much you can do with it and play.
Yeah.
So have you seen any videos or anything
Yeah.
seeing what it does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can add in anything to a photo.
You can do it on
Right.
Canva nowadays.
Can you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. I was messing around and I turned these into baseball bats the other day. You just hover over it and I said baseball bat.
That is so cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But now like I can take anybody out of a photo. So
Yeah.
like
The
it is
magic eraser.
You can do it on his phone.
it's amazing.
Actually, the one on my phone, because I was trying to do it over the weekend, like it still needs some work. Like, yeah, it's
Well, you know
half my
the
head's cut off.
technology's getting there, which is
Oh yeah.
cool. It's
I
exciting.
know.
And then they have like we talk about AI DJs and different things, and they have all of these different playlist curations. One thing that I thought was interesting when we went to that think tank symposium, they had talked about how possibly one day you can have a program that takes all of the Spotify accounts in the room and tells you the most played song on all of the accounts, and so you'll know that they'll love Billie Jean or whatever.
Serious.
And so that's like a crazy one. I thought I was like, that's a cool tool that you could use.
Yeah.
But
You know what though? But I think it's cool that you're already using it and immersed in it, because we've talked about this too, where I feel like if you don't embrace it and learn it and see the capabilities and start using it, those that don't and are stuck in their ways, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get left behind.
Yeah.
In any field. I don't think
Yeah.
so.
I will say I have not adopted TikTok though. So
What?
I know, right?
are you on Reels?
No. No, I
you
do
on
some
Instagram?
yeah, I do some, but actually
Start
I
with
turn my
Reels.
photos into a reel
Do
because
that.
I'm like
That's so just vertical format it, 1920
Yeah.
by 1080, whatever, and then just do a slideshow of like 4 photos.
You know
Yeah.
what Talitha
No,
needs?
they've-
You need CapCut. Have you heard of CapCut?
I haven't.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
CapCut is made for photographers. I mean, just because there's templates on there,
Yeah.
literally you could take something and have a 15-second little TikTok made for you in 15 seconds. Like
You
Nice.
You would
upload 10 photos and it throws in slides.
put
it
your
makes-
photos in there, and
makes
then
transitions.
it's already done the transitions and everything for you. You pick,
Okay.
like it's
This sounds
super
easy.
quick.
Maybe I
It's way
should just-
easy.
CapCut,
Yeah.
all on your phone.
Okay.
There is a PC version, but honestly, the phone version is way better.
Okay.
I love it for auto captions. So I'll do our little clips, I'll throw it in there, and it writes all my captions for me. And I can get it done
Nice.
in 5-10 minutes versus like an hour of, okay, what did they write? Type it out. What did they write? Type it out. Now
Yeah.
it does all of that automatically, you know?
Huh.
But CapCut is a great way because it's, you just upload and there's a lot of templates for you.
Yeah, you do
That's
your.
awesome.
You can
pictures.
choose it based on vibe, energy. If you want a more higher energy or a slower, more soft, more intimate.
So,
Nice.
and for those of you that are watching on YouTube, you'll kind of be able to see this. But of the Washington D.C., I just went and picked. I think this one had like 28 pictures, and literally in like 2 minutes, like this was created for me.
It just puts something together, right?
Does that do both video and photo?
Yeah.
It'll mix them
So
both?
there's videos in this too. See?
Oh, that's awesome. I was searching forever after my San Francisco vacation just to do that, to do photo and video.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And you can go in and edit like the part of the video that you want used.
Nice.
And yeah. It's pretty easy. Like I did that. It took me less than 5 minutes, even if that.
And it's
That's
nice
awesome.
because you can generate a bunch of different weddings and
Yeah.
showcase your style and all of that. We were talking about it too with Shelby. It'd be, since you have an assistant, you should have somebody like take photos of you taking photos
Yeah.
and just have
I have.
Oh yeah, like total behind the scenes
just
stuff.
you in
I know.
action.
I have another photographer that he's like, here, I got all this video of you that's all second. And
Put
I'm
it out
like,
there.
oh my gosh. And I don't do anything with it because I don't want to see myself working.
There, I can understand that. And it doesn't have to be all the time, but
Every so often.
on your we've learned that your feed is your curated page, right? It's almost like a website
Yeah.
in a way where it can be nice and clean, but your stories can act as a behind the scenes.
Oh, I love stories.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so you can upload photos, videos of your stories and just kind of showcase like this is my nice wedding, but this was what it took to get to there. Right?
Yeah.
So
I
Oh,
did
that's a
this
good
at the conference we were just at. This dude was taking a photo of these guys, but then I did the photo of him or the video of him taking the photo.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think stuff like that is so interesting because you give context to what's
Right.
going
You'd
on.
be surprised how boring you think your life is and how exciting everyone else thinks your life is.
Like you doing the painting, like the light painting.
Yeah.
I think people would
Yeah,
like
people would lose it.
Okay.
you'll
I
go
see
viral.
DJ stuff. I watch my own things. I don't see your stuff, right? So when I get to see your stuff, it's exciting, it's different,
Yeah.
it's fresh, it's new. You may see it as they don't want to see it. They see it all the time, right? But no, that's a big challenge I've gotten across is like people want to see you live your life and be excited about it because
Yeah.
like you may think your life is really boring, but that's the same thing that other people think. They think
Yeah.
their life is boring, so they want to watch other people's lives, right?
true.
And
Very
you just
true.
go in to get a coffee is so exciting for somebody else to see. Or you
Yeah.
doing your thing, shooting your shots in La Fonda or
Yeah.
any Hotel Albuquerque, Hyatt Tamaya, like they see
Yeah.
you there. It can kind of help them envision them seeing like your wedding
Oh,
day.
that's
and
true,
different
but
things
the-
like
yeah.
that. So
How's my wedding day going to go?
yeah, right. And that's what we always like too is during our sales meetings or after, we'll follow up with photos and videos of us in the space.
Yeah.
So they can actually envision, oh, this is what it would look like. So that's
Yeah.
where those social things can help you. But don't force it if you don't want to.
I
But
know.
there's value in it.
It's like one of those things where there's just one more thing to do. and
That's my
so,
problem.
yeah.
Is like it's we already have so much on the plate, right? And it's like finding the time, and that's where I think like an app
CapCut.
like CapCut is
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you just want to get some content out, even if you just did it once a week or once every other week. Like it's like, okay, this is going to take me literally 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Just
see,
let me
and
just put
that's-
some pictures in there.
that's
and then
exactly
I'll have
right.
to check that out.
That's exactly right. Where you're like, oh man, I need to put something together. I don't want to do that right now. 10 photos, boom, it's done. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
Definitely.
Yeah,
CapCut, download it.
I'm definitely going to.
yeah, check it out.
We preach it all the time on the pod. So
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a couple of business questions we're going to ask you here before moving on to the next section. But so, the wedding industry or the wedding photography industry is competitive. I think you're probably seeing it. We were talking with somebody recently, and they were talking about how how they feel like the Albuquerque area is definitely getting more saturated with wedding photographers. Are you seeing that? Are you feeling that?
Yes and no. I see a lot of I can't keep up with there's somebody else doing stuff.
Yeah.
us either.
But it doesn't affect my bottom line. I've
Right.
heard of other people saying, "Oh, this year is so slow. I'm not having the bookings." But I'm like, I'm having to turn people away.
Right.
So, like,
So that leads to my next question. So, like, what strategies have you employed that, like, differentiate yourself, you think, from just others, you know? And I think you've done a really good job of building, like, strong brand identity. Like, I think you're known for colors, right?
Yeah.
And using great depth of field and stuff like that. Like,
How long have you been shooting weddings?
14 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah. So, what do you think you do, or what do you do that, like, just kind of differentiate?
Yeah. Well, shooting, it's like true to life color, but it's a little bit more elevated. And I put more saturation in it because when you're in a moment, like sitting in the room with you guys, I'm having a good time. There's a pop of purple light. Like, but how do I have the photo show that this was pretty awesome? So if you kick up those colors just a little bit more, just so it's not like, it's not passable. It is evident that these are rich colors in the space.
The
so there's
color
that.
shows, like, or brings out the emotion.
It does.
Yeah.
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 Well, you
Definitely.
You had also talked about SEO as well. So people are finding you a little bit easier than other photographers, right?
Yeah, I have a website through Good Gallery, and so I can go in on the back end and put in all kinds of keywords.
Are you captioning the photos, or where are those keywords going?
Yes, it's like the back end stuff that nobody would be able to see.
Sweet.
So
Okay.
that's where I've spent quite a bit of time like putting in.
That's
And I
awesome.
worked with somebody last year. Her name is Blair de Lobenfels, and she started Style Me Pretty. You've heard of that,
Yeah.
right? And then she sold it, or was it Junebug Weddings? It was Junebug Weddings, and then she sold it. But anyway, she has World's Best Wedding Photography now. So, and she features my stuff a bunch.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Heck yeah.
but she actually,
baby.
she actually did a deep dive with me and like
Oh.
did all of my SEO, like put
That's
photos on the
amazing.
front page that are going to get people like booking with me. So that was really helpful.
It's really big.
How did you connect with her?
Well, she had reached out to me because I'm terrible with like initiating things. So she was like, "Are you going to put something up on World's Best Wedding Photographers? Because you need to have your stuff up here." And I'm like, "Okay, yes, I'll do it." But I didn't do anything. And so she reached out again and she's like, "I'll just do it for you. Just send me the
You
photos."
have to
So
be
she
pretty
reached
good
out to
for
you.
her to be
Yeah,
like,
that
I
is-
need these pics. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so she told me a little bit about what she does. And I was like, "Oh, so you do this?" And so I was like, "Yeah, I want to borrow you."
How exciting.
Yeah. So it
That's
was
cool. Well, cool. That's and see, I've learned a lot
that's
about
amazing.
SEO. SEO is a lot, and that's it. That's Chris all day. He's really good. Does a good job at the website and making sure we're searching a lot of that. But we've been doing blogs and just making sure we're really putting a lot of those keywords searches or keywords in the searches, and even on YouTube, right? Like that's where I think a lot of this finds value. Is we have Cutmaster Music, Wedding DJ, all in YouTube, and YouTube
Yeah.
is the second largest search engine. I mean,
Yeah.
TikTok is coming up on it though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. People are searching more for information, answers on TikTok as opposed to Google or YouTube.
Or even Instagram?
Instagram, yes, but what's nice
You know
about
what, though?
TikTok is it's condensed. If I want something and an answer right now, I don't want a 15-minute YouTube. I want a 1-minute TikTok
Right.
to give you my answer right away.
So it's
Yeah.
funny, like TikTok, I think you're right. It reminds me almost of like Chat GPT in a way, as far as like, so like even like to find TikToks for the grab bag section, which we're going to get into in just a little bit here. It's harder to go find stuff on Instagram because I feel like people are Instagramming.
search isn't.
It's like, well, and most
I
of the
have to
stuff is
search
about
hashtags.
it's about their lives, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
but TikTok is more like I see a lot of people giving tips, tricks, hacks. There's tons of that on there. So I'm like, I need wedding tips.
Yeah.
And I mean, then just
Boom.
TikTok after TikTok comes
Oh,
up.
that's cool.
And I'm looking for things that are less than a minute long, right?
Yeah.
To keep it for the show,
think-
like
yeah.
digestible. So
I think their search engine is a lot more in tune. I can put in a question on TikTok and get that answer. I can't put in a question on Instagram and get an answer. It has to be associated with hashtags.
Right.
or-
And people that's my peeve. Like if I look for an Albuquerque wedding photographer, I get somebody out of Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah. Because people are hashtagging everything.
Right.
Yeah. You're trying to get all in your local market. Or
Right.
whatever, right. So
yeah.
it's tricky, but TikTok we're putting out, like when we put out our videos, I'm putting like the best wedding DJ in New Mexico. I'm starting like with those phrases first
Yeah.
because he's told me that too, that a lot of people when they look for service and anything, they type in the best.
Right.
The best photographer in Albuquerque, the best wedding DJ in Albuquerque, or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So that's what we're trying to implement on TikTok too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool. All right. So speaking of, I think we should just get into our grab bag section here.
Let's do it.
So you ready? I don't know if Talitha's ready for this, Tony.
Let's do it.
She doesn't know. It's the official music.
You know it.
We're gonna do it.
You love it.
It's coming.
The time.
Bag.
Oh. That was so bad. I'm so
That
sorry.
was the worst one to
That
date.
was easily the worst. We've gotten so good at it. I
Yeah.
timed it out bad.
Yeah,
that was off.
You're out of practice.
Yep.
The best one I've ever seen. I've never seen one before.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling, and I was like ready. I was like, God, we're gonna show off our grab bag.
Yep.
Like
We just bombed it. I did.
our improvisational skills.
Usually it goes the grab bag. But
See,
I was
we
off
could
by a
edit it.
count.
We could do it all over and pretend like this never happened.
Let's do it.
But no. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
So we scour the internet. A lot of it is through TikTok now because we get a nice audio clip, and like you said, they're condensed into 1 minute. But a lot of them are hot takes and different things. So we'll listen to them
Okay.
and just give our opinions on them.
Yeah. So let's let me bring up this first one here. It's this one is I believe a wedding planner, and she's got 3 hot takes for us.
Nice.
So
These are things that I think are dying in the wedding industry. And as a wedding planner who had 2 weddings this weekend, and weddings basically
It's a
every
weird one.
weekend, who shares free tips and tricks like this all the time on here for free, you can trust me on this one. Number 1, cake cutting. If it happens, it's like not announced. People just want fun desserts, and I don't blame them because they usually taste better. 2, bouquet and garter toss. If either of those happens, it's bouquet. Okay, this is a hot take, but I think venue weddings are phasing out. They will never disappear forever, but the amount of people that want a backyard wedding, no matter the budget, is a lot of people. I don't hate this for the wedding industry.
all right. So that's Claire. She's a SoCal wedding planner with
Nice.
her takes on things that she thinks are phasing out. What do you think?
I agree with the first 2.
Yeah, number 1 and 2 is not necessarily a hot take.
Right.
Like,
It's happening. I more and more they're like, you know what? We don't have a specific song for the cake cutting. We're just gonna cut it while the open dance is happening.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
sure to let the photographer know so that we can have that photo moment. But they're not making a moment out of it anymore.
Right.
And
I
both
see more people that are, I don't know if they're uncomfortable with the attention or if it's, or what it is.
it just feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like an old tradition that's kind of phasing out. I'm noticing that a lot with brides. I mean, it's always like being fresh, being new, but people are really trying to shy away from the traditional stuff. And that kind of leads into the bouquet garter.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people are really awkward now, especially with the garter toss and it just being really awkward. And it's not,
Yeah, it has weird roots.
it just
on the
doesn't
garter
have
toss.
the gump show, or I don't know, but the gumption or the este. That's what I wanted to say, but that's
Keep it New Mexico.
yeah,
on here.
right.
It's good.
It just doesn't
The
have what it used to. That's not a bad word, but like the what it used to when I was doing. I've been doing this
Right.
for 8 years now, and when I first started to do bouquet garters, they were moments. They were big moments, and they were so fun and like family friendly but risque, and now it's just like awkward. And
Yeah.
and she's exactly right. If we're doing one of them, it's the bouquet and
Oh,
not
yeah.
the garter. And I'm noticing too, we're getting away from single ladies and inviting all women up, and whoever catches it gets good luck.
I mean, it's better just to include everybody.
Yeah,
Like everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I've had grandma catch it. I've had aunts and everybody, you know, and it's always cool when you have different people to catch because everyone's just excited. It's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
I remember one time early on in the career, I was like, all right, your next step to get married. And then someone in the background, she's 12. You're like, oh, God. I didn't even realize, you know, I wasn't paying attention. And
I usually make a big joke on that though, because usually if a little girl catches it, I'm like, and mom is super proud of you right now.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What's your take on the venue? I noticed you had a face on that.
Yeah, no, I don't really agree. So I've been working with the second photographer that he's based out of Chicago, but he lives here, and so I get to use him as my second, and he's a fantastic photographer. But what he says is, over in the East Coast, you start at the venue, and then you go to the next thing, and then you go to you've got your portrait location, and then you go to your reception. Which how crazy is that
Yeah.
for just the couple? Like, let alone everybody involved in there. You have to go to one spot, and then you have to go to another
Three
spot.
separate spaces in one day.
Yeah. So there's a lot of traveling where if it's just one venue, great. We can maximize our time together and just stay here and party. So especially with like Blamer Ranch where there's no curfew, you can just party as late as you want. So that's
Yeah, I'm not. I would agree. I'm not. I don't think we are
Three
seeing
is
that here.
nuts.
We're not seeing
It's
that here in
two.
Albuquerque where
What we see is
like
the Catholic,
phasing out.
the Catholic wedding at like 1 p.m.
that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I'd
And-
say that's standard.
But that's like that's the extent of like having two separate.
I don't think people
venues.
are going away from venues though. Like I don't see that. Like, cause I mean, she was saying that they're seeing more backyard type weddings, and it sounds like it was more of like almost like a budgetary type thing.
That's what I was thinking. Is things are getting more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So the trend is people are having more backyard weddings and spending more money on a good photographer and a good DJ.
Yeah.
And just partying in their backyard.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I don't see that trend happening here yet.
I don't see it here. We're only at La Fonda, Hotel Albuquerque, Hyatt Tamaya. You know,
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of backyard stuff.
Yeah.
We did one for COVID. That was pretty interesting.
Those little COVID weddings were amazing.
Yeah, they were really unique and fun, and I think it was like maybe 30, 40 people, but
Yeah.
they all were there to party, and that was where it was a good time because then you didn't lose them. 30, 40 people is really challenging because it's only 30 people, and so you really have to make sure you're entertaining them well. But
I always think about like what you guys do because there's some times when a DJ's out and they're trying, but it is crickets. Like nobody's out there, and I'm like, I wonder what Cutmaster would do because I swear this would be a filled dance floor.
What?
you know
What would
there's
Tony
times
do?
we say it's peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
And when you have an open dance floor, it's 3.5, 4 hours. People are going to go get a drink. People are going to do different things. But I think we do a good job at paying attention to those moments and figuring out a way to at least keep somebody on the dance floor. Never a dead dance floor.
Yeah.
If it's a dud, I'm going to spin out and go into something else. You know, because then I'll know, okay, they were liking country. Let's at least play that because then that'll get somebody out there. So.
Okay, let's move on. I've got one more for us here. Let's see.
Bride, I challenge you to do a photo dash at my wedding. And we only have one song to get a group photo with each table.
This is huge this year.
Yeah.
Me, challenge accepted.
So this one, we'll put that video up on
On the TV.
on the TV for you all. But what are your thoughts on the photo dash? Have you been doing those lately?
You've been doing that this year?
I tried to talk somebody into it once,
Yeah.
but it didn't materialize. I think it's a great idea, like
Okay.
just have everybody, because
Interesting.
the other way to do it is like you need to go visit each table and then you'll stand and do a little quick photo.
Yeah.
But you're going to chit chat on every single table and it's going to be a time sink. So
I had a bride. She had a 300 guest count wedding, and she wanted to do it. And so we're like, okay, it's possible, but you gotta like move. And she was.
do November Rain or something like that.
We didn't end up doing it because we convinced her that it just wasn't possible if she wanted to get like sunset photos in a timely manner and wanted everything to keep moving. We're like, well, this is gonna take a while. Like I have a song ready for you, but it's about a 4.5 minute song, and this is. You got to walk all the way around. It was the Wool Warehouse. I don't know if you ever shot
Oh
there.
yeah, I've actually haven't photographed a wedding there.
I've only DJ'd there once. It was where he had his wedding there.
So I
Fun
got my-
fact.
Yeah,
you?
Yeah. Our reception was there.
The place was, well, when did you get married?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot to let my wife listens. Oh my God. We're gonna be celebrating 19 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So that's like
That's awesome.
So back in the day when I got married.
Like 04,
Right.
right? Or
Yeah. Let's see. Jonas was born in 07. I was 04. Yeah. Ish. Yep.
Ish.
Mhm. Yeah. So, anyways.
Sorry to bring it
Yeah.
there.
no, you're
Thanks.
good. I've
Not
been
get to
seeing
20 now. May not get to 20. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
We've been seeing that trend a lot this year. That's a very big TikTok trend of wanting
Yeah.
to see that. And so you're for it. You like it?
Yeah, I would be down for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. I like it too. I think it's really fun. We did it. We tried to do it that one time. It didn't work, and then we did it 2 weeks ago.
It would make it's more simple on the photography aspect because usually I have a
Right,
lighting
that's what
assistant
I think
that's
of,
going to
too.
help me with it. And so we can actually, instead of like doing this shimmy around the table, like figuring out like shooting over the centerpiece or all that
you
weird
can kind
stuff.
of prep the guests in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I would
I
think
like-
as a photographer, you might actually hate it just because you have having to run all over the
So
place.
the first, not only did she didn't want the photographer was not about it. And
Yeah.
So she was very much into convincing her to not do it. That's why we convinced the sunset photos and really, but that was why
Yeah.
I want to hear your take because she was like, oh God, I don't want to do this. But maybe because it was 300 people.
300 people is a lot.
that's a lot.
But
As opposed to like an
honestly,
average of 120, right?
If
Typically.
it's where it gets like kind of, why are we doing this? Like if you have me there for 3 hours during a reception and you don't have anything, like there's a huge lull. And that's
Right.
where I'm like, they don't need me here for this.
Yeah.
But if I had something to do, I'm like, let's do it.
Interesting.
Whatever you want to do, let's do that.
I love that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
there we go. Okay, so we're going to move into our final segment of the cast.
Oh yeah.
We're not singing this one.
That's good.
Great Scott!
With it, I don't
Yeah.
know how dumb it is.
Yeah.
You know what? And that's what I think
That's a
too.
good point.
And I think that's why I love weddings so much because they're all unique. So even if they came up, you're right. I mean, some of the craziest moments have been like, so here's a crazy one, like the chicken dance, right? I can't remember the last time I played that
Oh,
song,
yeah.
but
Been a while.
they were like, I remember this wedding. They were like, you have to do it. It's done at every single one of our family events, and something crazy is gonna happen. They're like, just trust me. You have to play it. I'm like, all right. So at whatever point, they told me, well, we'll tell you when. You've got to wait. Like, no problem. I'll be waiting.
I'll have it. Yeah.
And so I put it on, and here comes somebody out in a literal chicken costume at a wedding.
That's
Like,
amazing.
That's awesome.
It was just like,
It's a moment.
wow.
Yeah.
It was a moment. It was a moment and a half.
That's
Yeah.
for everybody who's dancing with the chicken, which is
Right.
photographic gold.
You
Yeah,
know, just
for real.
Yeah, yeah, more like a blackmail gold.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Right. Got you in a chicken suit.
yeah, right. No, it was crazy.
funny.
But yeah, you just never know. And I think that's what's cool about weddings is like different songs and music bring different types of people together. They like different stuff. We'll play it all. But you're right. Like I could probably do without hearing Cupid Shuffle ever
Yeah.
again. But it's only because I play it almost every weekend. You know, so we have this like different lens, right?
Right.
Of when it comes to events. So it's hard to get past that.
It's
wall
tough
sometimes.
to go to an event and just be a guest because you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
doing
Well,
this wrong.
I get like a little bit of anxiety when I don't have my camera in because like you give me something to do, I don't care how chaotic it is.
Yeah.
But like walking through the airport and if everybody's like crowding around me, I'm like, deep breath, keep
Yeah.
going. But no, weddings, I don't care how crazy it is. I love it. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't stress me out
You're
at
in
all.
your-
I feel the
zone.
same way. Like I don't get stressed out at weddings one bit.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's weird. Like I'm like at ease now. Like the most stressful part of any wedding day for me is a ceremony.
Oh yeah.
Just
yeah.
with a microphone. Like
Ugh.
it has
Don't
everything
mess
to
this
do with
up.
this. Like
Yeah.
and it's the wireless. It's just
Or if they're
it's
timing
It's not
music.
even anything I can control. It's usually like if there's interference that comes in, like I can't control it, but no matter what, they're gonna look at you. That's
Right.
probably like my biggest
Yeah.
fear.
Is that what your
just-
nightmares are? Like,
Yeah. It relies in wireless microphone transmission.
The power going out and not being able to recover.
oh my God.
I would much rather have the power in a venue completely go out because then it's not my fault.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like I'm cool. But wireless signal like popping in and out,
Yeah.
it's because of radio waves.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
You
the
know?
worst. You have it all set up, and then 100 people sit down. You got 100 phones in between the mic receiver and then the mic.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
There's
So
so
it'll
much
sound
that
great,
goes
and
in
it's
into
perfect.
wireless.
And then you put all the, and you're like, oh, now it does. Now
Yeah,
it's
when you
cut out.
test stuff, like it'll be perfect, and then you put in a bunch of wireless devices in between you and you're like really far away,
Huh.
then it can get
It's
like
gotten better, and we learn tactics, right? You want to elevate your receiver, make sure you have a nice clear sign, and like there's different things we've learned
Yeah.
to avoid it, but still, things happen, and you can get a dropout, and it's the worst when they all just.
You know what's funny
It's
is
your
that I had happen once. I think it's only once it's happened, but where because most DJs don't check their wireless channels. So I do this every
yeah.
single time where I'll make sure like I have a clear channel.
Mm-hmm.
But then if somebody pops in like in a room next door or whatever, and I've had it come where they all of a sudden their announcements start coming through your
Yeah.
Oh my
your
gosh.
speakers.
Straight
Yeah,
next
because
door.
Trip.
they haven't checked,
Yeah.
you know, and they're coming in. So now here I go most other DJs probably don't even care or notice, right? But now I'm scrambling trying to find a new channel. And
Yeah.
It's like that was a long time ago that happened. But
My camera flashes like every so often. I've
Oh,
wondered
yeah.
what things. Yeah, because certain things will interfere and they will quit talking, even though I'm like,
2.4 gig wireless.
we're fine before. I don't
Yeah.
know what happened. So
Well, and all of these lights and our up lights are all on 2.4,
yeah,
which is all that stuff, all the camera flashes, those are
Right.
all on that same type of wireless.
crowding up that band.
Yeah, so you just never know like what your device is using.
Mm-hmm.
It can get tricky. Wireless is just tricky stuff. But yeah, that's where my nightmares go to that.
For real.
My nightmares are like losing the bride and groom middle of the day. Like someone took my camera and I don't know where the bride and groom are. That's my dream.
That's the recurring dream that wakes you
Yeah.
up in the middle of the night.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I didn't lose anything.
Yeah. You're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's a funny one. That's
Good one.
crazy.
Yeah.
So is yours like everybody turning around, giving you those big like, what did you do if like you lose
Yeah.
microphone connection?
Or
during
playing the wrong
ceremony?
song and having them all leave. Or no, actually, probably playing the wrong song for like first dance
Yeah.
or parent dances. Those really big moments, and you play the wrong song.
Because then you get that
Yeah. Or like
ire.
messing up their names, mispronouncing.
So actually, the reason why I got those new DJ turntables that I was showing you, because my nightmare was starting to come true. Like biggest nightmare, like a first dance, like a song messing up right during the first dance or something. Like this iconic moment that it's a moment that you've been probably dreaming of your whole life, having your first dance with your husband, and these DJ players that I had. Recently they would just start in the middle of a song ramping up. So it'd be like playing normal and then it would go and it was happening.
Literal deck would go
Like you would
fast.
literally see my turntable start going like
Oh my
on warp
gosh.
speed. It was
So the
crazy.
song would go faster.
It had never done it during a first dance.
It was weird.
But it started happening more and more frequently. And after the last time it happened, I was done. I was like, this is not happening to me anymore.
no.
And my friends kept telling me, "Oh, all you have to do to fix it, because it's a known like bug in these things,
Yeah.
is just hit the fader really quickly." I'm like, "But no, but it's like already happened. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, no, like I can't." And I kept thinking back to first dance. I cannot have that happen during somebody's choreographed, because a lot of them they'll choreograph
Right.
it
Yep.
during their first dance.
Yep.
I'll ruin the day, like with that alone, right? And like, nah, that's
Yeah.
not happening to me.
I've seen a DJ where it's their first dance and it's Etta James at last.
Mm-hmm.
He put some like stank
No.
mixing.
What?
I was like, what's going on? He was like totally drunk and
Oh, gee.
yeah. But that's a different thing. But it was
I don't
hot
even.
mess.
I can't
It's
even. imagine how
crazy.
you would do
That's
that.
crazy.
Who
The
does
audacity. The confidence to be like, you know what? This is what they want. You know what I mean?
And zhuzh it up a bit for them.
You know what?
That's so bad.
I know what they want.
Oh, it's a replay.
Right?
Ah.
That's so weird.
I'm back in that moment.
Right?
Oh my god. Yeah, forget
That is
that.
a moment.
Yikes.
Oh, that was terrible.
Well, yeah, we created a moment.
Not a good one, but
Yeah.
it's memorable.
Oh man. Well, cool. Well, you made it. You made it through. You made it through
Did
a
it.
Cutmaster Cast
like, oh my
episode.
gosh.
Congratulations.
See, it's not too bad.
No, it wasn't.
Hang out.
Just playing.
It was awesome. It was everything I
Exactly.
everything I hoped and dreamed, and I got some good insights. Got some good music insights out of you. That was
Yeah. That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
good stuff. So
Mhm. See, that's why we love bringing it back to the music. Like,
Yeah.
that's really what we are at the end of the day is DJs, and so it's cool to.
Yeah.
It's fun to talk about business and all that stuff too, but music is what's awesome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what we love.
100%. I know we had talked about something before, but like one of the awesome things like that's different that companies do is actual mixing, like for an awesome party, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys do that one. So, yeah,
that's like for us, like
crazy that they don't.
and for me, when I got into doing private events, I mean, I came from nightlife, so I was first started DJing hip hop, which was great, learning to mix. But then I was actually mixing tropical Latin as well, doing salsa, and actually mixing from one salsa song to the next, which is it's completely different tempo, and learning it, like it honed in like my, just mixing skills. And it's like, I wanted to bring that to like weddings and private events, which just at that time, not a lot of people were doing. It was more like you're playing 5 minutes of a song stops, you hit play on the next song stops. And that was like, people wanted like club vibes, at their wedding. And at that point, I think more guys are doing it now, and have gotten better over the years. But
well, that's what's even crazy to me, to hear that people aren't doing it. I feel
there's still so many people
standard
that don't do it.
You should be just basic beat matching at least. But
well, there's people that like can mix, but there's no emceeing with it. It's like, I will only do this.
Yes.
You can't like elevate it with.
We've talked about that too. That's a whole nother episode where the nightlife, a lot of those guys, there's a stigma with the wedding industry, right? Like, I'm never going to be a wedding DJ.
Yeah.
And so they can't cross themselves over. And they don't want to MC either. Like nightlife guys, I just want to DJ hip hop all night long, or dance music, or top 40. And that's it. And that's all I do. I don't want to talk on the microphone. And then there's the opposite, where wedding guys can't mix. Like, and it's all they want to do. Yeah, they want to sit there and ham it up all day long, and be MCs, and they can't mix. You know, so it was like, that's actually how the name Cutmaster came to be. Is that we were cutting up tracks and bringing it all together. By
master of ceremonies,
cutting it all up and bringing it together. Yeah, bringing the master of ceremonies part of it together too. So. It's kind of funny because people will see me and be like, well, he doesn't even like scratch. And I can scratch a little bit, but I didn't realize when I came up with the name that Cutmaster would so be associated with actual turntablism. And cutting and scratching and doing all that. And so I don't tend to do a ton of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's more about bringing worlds together, right? So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
In my next life, I'll name my DJ company correctly.
I like Cutmaster.
Yeah, but I
like it.
But I had to. I stuck with it because that's what everybody started associating it, and that's what we're known. I couldn't switch it now. Like everybody's like, that's Cutmaster Chris. You know, like
exactly.
Yeah.
So I just rolled with it.
It works.
Good.
Well, cool. Well, Talitha, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you coming
It's
on.
fun.
And
we're rolling out with Tycho.
We're gonna roll out with your jams. So
Nice.
thank you once again. We will see you guys next week. We appreciate you all.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Tuning in. Thank you. See you later.